The next receiver who will be presenting a speech in a video. His Excellency, the President of Ghana, has sent a video. He is the African Political Leader of the Year, and he will be giving his acceptance and a speech right after, just about now. But this is the moment where we unveil our African of the Year. Our African of the Year is one African who has projected the strength, the community, the achievement, the resilience, that's everything African. Someone who has shown tremendous leadership on the global stage, someone who is one African. We are truly proud of the work he's done. Our African of the Year is no other person than His Excellency, the Director General of the World Health Organization. His name has become we need to put it in the dictionary now. 2020 has made Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus a household name globally. The response to what has been the most challenging period in our recent history has been phenomenal. And we're so excited that it's an African who has led the charge. Dr. Tedros, we are truly proud of you as Africans, your brothers, your big brothers, your junior brothers. We look up to you. And we're very, very proud of the work you've done at the WHO, and we'll be willing to hear you. So I present to you His Excellency Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus, the African of the Year 2020. Please put your hands together. You're free to unmute, and let's give him a round of applause. And then he'll be sharing the feedback. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
To you, Your Excellency.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Asante sana. Thank you.
That's our African of the Year. Please put your hands again together for Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus. Thank you very much. On that note, may I call on Dr. Tedros to share his remarks with us, and then I'll hand over to Juan.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Ken. Your Excellency, President Nana Akufo-Addo, President of Ghana, Your Excellency, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, former President of Nigeria, thank you so much. I enjoyed every bit of your speech, and I know you're a man of peace, and what you said and the prize you got, I think is well deserved. I'm proud of you as always, sir, and congratulations. And Your Excellency, Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma, former President of Sierra Leone, Your Excellency, Graça Machel, Honorable Senator Mankoba Kumalo, Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry of the Kingdom of Eswatini, Honorable Samuel Tue, Minister of Finance and Economic Development of Liberia, and my good friend, Dr. John Kengasong, Director General of Africa CDC, Dr. Ken Giami, Chairman and Publisher, African Leadership Magazine, distinguished guests, my dear brothers and sisters. As a proud son of Africa, I'm deeply humbled to accept this award. I express my thanks to African Leadership Magazine and its readers for their support. I would also like to acknowledge and thank last year's winner, Dr. Adesina, my good friend, the President of the African Development Bank, and thank you for your kind words of congratulations, my brother. I do not accept this award only on my own behalf, but on behalf of my colleagues at WHO, who work every day, sometimes in difficult and dangerous situations, to protect and promote the health of Africa's people and the world's. Last year alone, we lost 3 of our colleagues in the line of duty. But there has never been more important than in the past year. The COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted many of Africa's strengths and vulnerabilities. When COVID-19 first emerged more than a year ago, we were deeply concerned about its potential impact in Africa and other regions with weaker health systems. Regional solidarity has been a vital part of the response, and I would like to acknowledge the leadership of President Ramaphosa and Moussa Faki in developing the continental strategy against COVID-19 in Africa, and for bringing together a coalition of political and business leaders. And Africa started its response as early as possible, when it only had few cases. So far, more than 3.8 million cases have been reported from African Union countries, and we have lost more than 100,000 of our brothers and sisters. We know that the real numbers are almost certainly higher, but we also know that our continent's relatively young population means Africa has not seen the same scale of severe disease and deaths as other regions with older populations. Africa's long experience in applying public health measures to respond to infectious disease outbreaks has also helped. Since the beginning of the pandemic, WHO has been working day and night to ensure equitable access to vaccines, diagnostics, and therapeutics for COVID-19. Last January, only 2 countries in Africa had PCR testing capacity for COVID-19. By the end of February last year, we expanded that to 32 countries and to all countries by mid-June. Since then, we have shipped millions of test kits to our continent, tons of personal protective equipment, oxygen concentrators, dexamethasone, and other essential supplies. The approval of safe and effective vaccines is now giving us all hope of bringing the pandemic under control. So far, more than 200 million doses of vaccine have been administered, but half of those doses are in just 2 countries, and more than 80% are in 10 countries. WHO and our partners are working urgently to ensure vaccines are distributed to all countries as quickly as possible. This week, Ghana became the first country outside India to receive vaccines for COVID-19 through the COVAX facility. And just a few hours ago, more doses arrived in Côte d'Ivoire, and we expect more African countries to receive doses next week and in the coming weeks until all countries start in the next 40 days. Vaccines are a powerful tool, but we must remember they're not the only tool. Vaccines complement, but do not replace the other public health measures that countries in Africa have used to successfully prevent or control widespread transmission. Even as we roll out vaccines, testing, contact tracing, isolation, supported quarantine, and quality care remain important. And so do individual measures like physical distancing, avoiding crowds, hand hygiene, mask, and ventilation. Vaccines will help to bring the pandemic under control, but we will still be left with many of the same challenges we had before. There is no vaccine for poverty, hunger, inequality, climate change, child marriage, or many of the other problems our brothers and sisters face on a daily basis. The pandemic has highlighted that health is central to Africa's future. A runner does not win races to become fast. She becomes fast to win races. In the same way, health is not a product of strong and prosperous nations. It is the means. A healthy population is a productive, innovative, and resilient population. And the best way to protect and promote health of a population is to make sure all its people can access the health services they need, where and when they need them, without facing financial hardship. That's why WHO's top priority remains universal health coverage, built on strong primary health care. I know many of you know the late Meles Zenawi, Prime Minister of Ethiopia, who was my boss and a friend, who was a strong advocate for Pan-Africanism. He was a visionary leader and a leader I admired in so many ways. He taught me to focus on what really matters. I remain more convinced than ever that to build the healthier, safer, fairer, more prosperous, and more sustainable Africa we all want, health must be seen not as a cost to be contained, but as an investment to be nurtured, an investment that delivers a rich reward. Our continent is the birthplace of humanity, but it will also play a vital part in the future of humanity. Our continent is home to some of the richest resources on Earth. I don't mean the resources buried underground. I mean the ones above ground, our brothers and sisters. They are the future of our great continent, and they must be the focus of our investments now. And I fully agree with President Bai Koroma when he said we should invest in our young ones. They are the future. And to quote His Excellency Paul Kagame, Africa's story has been written by others. We need to own our own problems and solutions and write our story. End of quote. Africa has made me who I am, and very proud to be African. And I hope in some small way to repay that debt. I believe that I have a debt. Thank you so much again for this great honor. Thank you.
We are going to continue this program. I have to tell you, I'm just taking deep breaths whenever I'm listening to the speakers, and I always have to take copious notes. I almost forget that I'm supposed to be hosting the program as well, because there's so much that's being shared here that is rich and vital, and I only wish that all of the world could really hear what we are having the opportunity to hear today. But I do want us to continue with the honors that are before us, and our next honoree and the person that we're going to get to hear from is His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, the President of the Republic of Ghana. He's going to present to us via video, but before we share that, we of course want to remember and recognize who His Excellency is. He was just, of course, sworn into office for another term on January 7th of this particular year. And he has a long lifetime of service to the nation. He has been an attorney in Ghana with very important constitutional cases that protect the independence of the judiciary branch, also protect the integrity of the state-owned media. Ghana, of course, being led in a long-time commitment to Pan-Africanism, welcoming in terms of not only its business climate, but also its long-time commitment to really reclaiming all of the peoples of African descent who have been dispersed throughout the world. And so today we're going to get a chance to hear some remarks from His Excellency on the subject of international leadership, rethinking youth. Let's take a look at that video.
I thank Ambassador Joe Beasley, Dr. Kenjiami, the board and management of the African Leadership Magazine UK, and indeed all the thousands and thousands of fellow Africans who deemed me worthy enough to vote for me as African Political Leader of the Year 2020. It is an honor I did not seek, but one which I accept in all humility. This award scheme, currently in its 9th edition, has acquired a formidable reputation, and I'm grateful to all of you for making me a part of this event. I also extend hearty congratulations to all other award winners. Intentional leadership, rethinking youth development priorities in Africa, the topic I've been asked to speak on, brings into sharp focus the hopes, aims, and objectives of a continent that currently has the largest generation of young people in history. I place great hope in their capacity to shape the future of Africa and make Africa the lion that it was meant to be. Africa has to have a strategy to reap the demographic dividend that a youthful population offers. The Asian tigers, Japan, Malaysia, Singapore, and South Korea are where they are today because of the systematic investments they made in the development of their human capital. Their period of boom and growth happened when their populations shifted from ones of many dependents to ones dominated by working age groups. And this is where Africa is today. We should not fail to realize that we are at the brink of a breakthrough. Having said that, I must obviously add that the population opportunity will not automatically guarantee us a future of growth and prosperity. Demographic dividends do not come automatically. They have to be earned. To realize the dividend, we must invest in the empowerment, education, and employment of our young people. With over 40% of our working population between the ages of 15 and 25, Africa is the youngest continent in the world. This represents a staggering amount of human capital. And according to the African Economic Outlook, this number is set to double by 2045. Yet too many of them are trapped in poverty, with few opportunities to learn or to earn a decent living. According to the World Bank, youth account for 60% of all African unemployed. For those that manage to find work, they do not do so in a place that pays a good wage, or develops their skills, or provides a measure of job security. The Brookings Institute states that more than 70% of the youth in the Republic of Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Ethiopia, Ghana, Malawi, Mali, Rwanda, Senegal, and Uganda are either self-employed or contributing to family work. No one needs to tell us that mass unemployment in Africa, especially amongst her youth, is a ticking time bomb. The so-called Arab Spring showed clearly that lack of employment opportunities can undermine social cohesion and political stability. Between 10 to 12 million youths joining the labor market every year, Africa has to pay maximum attention to job creation. Young people are willing to risk everything to improve their circumstances. We have seen in recent times high numbers of them taking harrowing risks around the Sahara Desert and the Mediterranean, trying to reach the mirage of a better life in Europe. What this means is that if we provide them the right environment in Africa, they will make our continent great. If these youth are encouraged to spend their considerable energies at home, Africa could experience huge economic gains. There are self-evident intentional steps that can help African countries achieve the demographic dividend. Increasing investment in young people is key. This includes promoting quality education that prepares them for a future of opportunities. A diversity of training will be needed, from quality primary and secondary schools to technical and vocational training schools, to teacher training colleges, to research-intensive universities. For young people to be able to exploit the economic opportunities that abound in Africa, they must have the skills and training necessary to take advantage of them. In doing this, Africa must fashion an education policy that is also gender sensitive, for women are a clear majority of the African population. The 21st century is the century of science and technology. The mastery of digital technology by African youth must be the compelling challenge for them, if indeed they are to survive in this competitive technological age. They have to survive. The Costa Rican example should serve as an inspiration for us in Africa. Costa Rica moved from being a banana exporting country to a net exporter of microprocessor chips that earns them billions of dollars, in contrast to the few $1 million from the export of bananas. Technology is what helps us to make the world truly a global village and enables once poor people to become prosperous and scale up the value of their economic activities. There is a critical need to involve young people in decisions that affect them. We cannot talk about sustainable development without the active involvement of youth. Former United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon argues that when we give young people decent jobs, political weight, negotiating muscle, and real influence in our world, they will create a brighter future. Hence, Africa cannot talk about rethinking youth development priorities in Africa without talking about the welfare and well-being of young people. It is important that Africa takes these ideas forward to harness the value of a youthful population, holding human rights, gender equality, development of human capital, and dignity at the center of all our investments. Only by providing opportunities that open up the future to all young people do we create stronger prospects. My speech, Chairperson, has many of the makings of a dream, but it is a dream that is grounded in reality. I do not accept that Africa has a DNA that dooms us to failure. Africans can, like all the other peoples that have succeeded, make life meaningful and worth living for themselves. Africans can and must do it themselves. We cannot expect others to do it for us. We can and must build Africa on a strong foundation of the ability, creativity, and industry of her citizens. An Africa that exemplifies the true spirit of her people, working towards a common goal of a brighter future. There is an abundance of dynamic entrepreneurial talent on our continent, struggling to express itself and take advantage of all these conditions for success. We have to encourage this expression with full force and ensure that we can stand on our own feet and make it impossible for the systematic looting and plundering of our human and material resources by outsiders that have characterized much of our history to continue. This is the significance of the concept of Ghana beyond aid, indeed, of Africa beyond aid. Once again, I thank you sincerely for the award and for your kind attention. May God bless Mother Africa and us all.
And so we offer our applause to the President of Ghana, His Excellency, of course, Mr. President Addo, giving us those very, very welcome remarks and the opportunity to really explore what it means to invest in young people, what it means to have sensitivity to the rights of women and the contributions of women. And of course, I was very taken by his example of Costa Rica given there as well. Of course, since 1948, with only a small law enforcement agency and no standing army, being able to invest in other ways and also not engaging in civil war while many of its neighbors have, and being able to invest instead in education and healthcare for its people. So maybe we can all look at examples where we can see things like that going forward. Thank you so much again for being with us for this 9th African Leadership Persons of the Year Award. I'm Nwandi Lawson, the Chief Cultivation Officer for the Virtues Collective here in Atlanta, Georgia. And we want to, at this this point have an opportunity to have a group photo. And so if we could please ask for all who have received their awards so far, if you could please hold those up one more time so that our photographer can capture the awardees at this point. Thank you so very much, and congratulations to all of you. It's really your work that causes the African Leadership Magazine group to recognize you in this way. Just a small pause in the work that you're doing and an opportunity for all of us in the world to say thank you so very much for all that you have done and all that you're continuing to do in support of the continent of Africa. And really that's the support of the world. I'm always reminded and was very much reminded when Dr. Tedros was telling us about the civilization building power of Africa. The particular community in which I grew up in here in the United States, every week they would give what's called a historical tribute. And at the beginning of the historical tribute, it would always be said, because African history is world history and world history is African history. So I'm very much reminded of that as I listen to the leaders speaking today. We want to continue our program now with a video documentary. This is about the Niger Delta University, and we'll have an opportunity to learn a little bit more about this illustrious institution.
From Africa's largest wetlands, the Niger Delta, and one of Nigeria's leading oil-producing states, Bayelsa, comes an epitome of learning and industry alignment, the Niger Delta University. Tucked in the middle of Wilberforce Island, a green paradise that exudes more beauty than the soul can absorb, the university provides a frame of reference in academic excellence, ingenuity, entrepreneurship, character, and learning. From faltering steps just a few years ago, today, the university boasts of the state-of-the-art facilities, 71 fully accredited programs, quality lecturers, a serene learning environment, and a motivated workforce. The university boasts of a range of disciplines and some of the country's best and modern state-of-the-art facilities to aid learning. Her College of Health Sciences recently received an equipment upgrade to meet global best practices and international standards. The school's quality of teaching was manifest during her recent convocation ceremony, when 91 students graduated with a first-class degree, and its students emerging best graduating students from the Nigerian Law School with first class. The university is also the first in Nigeria to tackle headlong student victimizations in Nigerian universities with the introduction of what is now known as conference marking. NDU has also become a darling of university regulators in Nigeria as it has adopted a unique strategy that makes program accreditation easier by adopting stringent internal measures to certify any program, has ramped up the number of accredited programs to a record 71 for a university that is just 2 decades old. The university is also promoting out-of-the-box thinking towards increasing her internally generated revenue. The school has her water factory, bakery, paint-making factory, among others. These ventures have also helped promote entrepreneurship for the students who are increasingly embracing new experiences towards jobs and wealth creation. Interestingly, these achievements have been made under 3 years, pointing to quality and purposeful leadership of the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Samuel Gowon Edomiokomo. Staff and students are united in their admiration of the Vice-Chancellor, who they have described in colourful words. However, Professor Edomiokomo is quick to attribute his success to the untiring efforts of the staff, students, and governing council of the university. He also reserves impressive accolades for the state government for their sustained support. A stickler for excellence and due process, the Vice-Chancellor has introduced a slogan that has become common among the staff. Don't worry, just do the right thing. We look to the future as a society witnessing the dawn of a new era in public university administration as the Niger Delta University emerges a bastion of educational excellence, innovation, and entrepreneurship.
And so with that, we're not only ready to get up and dance, but we also got that wonderful expression of how the youth are actually being developed through this particular institution of higher learning. I wanted to let our audience know that Dr. Tedros regrets that he had to go at the moment. He, of course, has so many duties that he has to take care of at the World Health Organization. We thank you so much, Dr. Tedros, for giving us your time. I understand that you have another engagement to get to, and I am just astounded that you could provide any time today. So thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much indeed. I wish I could be with you, but I have that regular scheduled presser, so I will be on another window doing my mambo jumbo. Thank you so much.
See you on the news.
You're from communications, so you understand.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. We are, of course, so richly blessed today to have so many wonderful leaders from the African continent who are giving up of their time. And we know that so many of you do have other pressing concerns and matters. And the fact that you're with us today, we know that is truly a benefit for us. We have another set of awards that we want to recognize at this time. And I'm going to turn it back over to our publisher of African Leadership Magazine. Dr. Kengiami will present the next set of awards.
Thank you again, Wendy. It's again a beautiful experience. And we'll run quickly to our list. The first on my list here would be, we just watched the video on the Niger Delta University. I'm going to call on Professor Samuel Edumie-Kumo. Forgive me if I didn't pronounce it correctly. Samuel Edumie-Kumo. Please put your hands together for Professor Samuel as he showcases his certificate as Africa's leading educationist, and also share a 1-minute remark.
Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, current serving presidents and past presidents, incidentally, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, our former president, issue of establishing Niger Delta University was discussed at the Executive Council, and the name was also suggested by our former president. It is from the state, Bayelsa State, Nigeria. And we're very happy that today you are recognizing the young man who suggested Niger Delta University, who later became the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and now is even here with me as one of a very wonderful recipient of, and his own boy is now recognized as the African Educationist of the Year. In fact, it's a wonderful thing. Let me thank God for that. And Dr. Gianni, thank you very much for the opportunity given to us. And for us in Niger Delta University, we are determined to see that the youths are properly educated and given the right knowledge and what they should be doing in the society. And that's why today, what we do is to ensure that we blend entrepreneurship together with academics. And that's what we are doing here. As a policy, there is nobody that will graduate from Niger Delta University without a skill. We introduced that in 2018, and today, the students are very happy about it. They all graduate with one skill or the other. The factories you have just seen helping our students as well. They go there, they do jobs, and they also learn one skill or the other. And that's the way forward. And you saw in our health College of Health Sciences, the facilities we have acquired. We believe that Africa can do it. That's the slogan. I do not believe it. They always talking about the box. I always say that we should think outside the box. In fact, destroy the box so that we handle the things the way it ought to be. Because when we say we have a box, that will not enable us to think very well. If we do not have a box and we have to think to help ourselves, we will do better than this. And for us in Niger Delta University, we want to chart that course so that every student graduating from our university is properly trained. For example, we just celebrated one of our students who made a first class in law, went to the Nigerian Law School, and came out one of the best. Still maintain that first class because we have introduced a very wonderful quality assurance program where we ensure that not one individual grades a student's script, so that the issue of victimization is over. And all these ones we hear people are saying through the social media, sex for marks and all that is not found in Niger Delta University. We have been able to curtail all that. And so Niger Delta University is one of the best schools in Africa we have, that I would say that every African should have a certificate from. Dr. Gianni, you can do another degree here. Yes, for us, and that's what we are doing now. And today, the placements requirement is so high. For example, we just conducted for about 11,000 students placing one, seeking for one placement or the other in our university. And I want to say that our staff, we have a wonderful. In fact, when we introduced the only university in the whole of West Africa that has even a nursing program as a faculty. And I can say that the only professor of nursing in the whole of West Africa, the first professor, was employed by Niger Delta University. And so if you talk about quality of staff, we have. So our school is second to none. Thank you very much for this recognition, African Leadership Magazine. And I want to tell us that ND will be very happy to receive it. Thank you very much.